great mood today, gentlemen.
Welcome back to another episode of Schnozzcast. Your hosts, Bob and Cory and Nick and Todd. We're going the correct way tonight, alphabetically. Cory Slesky, how are you, sir?
Oh, hello.
Nick Bader, how are you, sir?
Schnozztastic.
Todd Dillon, top that.
I'm mighty.
He's not here tonight. I don't think he's here.
He's decided to go with his shocker voice for the intro for tonight.
I am mighty, Bob. I am mighty fine, sir.
Excellent.
Bob, how are you, sir?
Excellent. I am doing well. And for everybody out there joining, thank you so much. You can look back for previous episodes anywhere where you can get a podcast. You can also stream us on video out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. You can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us anytime, including right now, day or night, at 618-SHOCKER.
The shocker line, baby.
Sounds like he had some laryngitis there, huh?
It's like an old Tom Waits end of the night closing time voice.
After a lot of cigarettes and
Yep.
Palm Malls.
Yep. And mainline cocaine.
Mainline gumbo.
All right, boys. I got to jump in here first real quick with a couple of things that I noted for Cory. But before we do that, we have a shot sitting here. So we are a drinking podcast. Please.
Are we?
Yes, we are. We are, Todd.
Holy
and
moly.
if you've got something you want to join us, whatever time, day or night you're listening to this in the future, please pour yourself something.
and we're back.
It's amazing when there's music that there's volume to the music, but
Pour yourself a shot and
Or
join
sounds.
us. We're all doing Fireball
Thanks
here
for asking, Bob.
in Michigan. What are you drinking there in Washington, Todd?
I got myself a little Crown Apple, and for my beer, it's a little Vitamin R, Rainier, Washington's best.
all right. We would like
Wait,
to
there's
taste
a beer called Vitamin R?
Or is that just what you call
No,
it?
it's called Rainier.
Oh, yeah, you just call it vitamin R.
Yep. Cory saw through the ruse immediately.
Todd, I'm interested. What kind of beer is it?
You're only
Yeah, I mean,
prolonging taking
Is
the shot.
it an IPA? I mean, is it a wheat beer? What is it?
It is not an IPA. It is a nice lager.
Okay, well, that's pretty general.
Rainier.
But there you go. Okay.
Jesus
Cheers. From
Christ.
someone that's made beer, that's pretty general. But,
Alrighty.
all right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute. Oh, now you got me drinking beer, not the shot. Sláinte.
Sweet, pappy, sassy molassie.
That's the good stuff, boys.
Boys, what do I got for Cory tonight? Did you see, Cory, that Clausen Pickles now has jelly beans? Clausen's pickle flavored jelly beans out in circulation, can be purchased. Walmart and other likely similar shopping venues.
Other places I would never go.
Would you buy? Would you taste? Yes or no?
Pickle flavored jelly beans? God,
Yeah.
In a
Okay.
second.
100%.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
No.
Yes.
0%.
I will be on that. So
Look what I was hiding in my tuchus.
I wish
Jelly beans.
I wish I was able to pull out a bag of dill pickled jelly beans right now and be like, here you go, fuckers. But unfortunately, I do not have that. But now with
For him to completely have guessed on what I was going to just launch out of nowhere in the podcast and him just pull him right out of his ass,
Hey,
Rinse that bag off.
that would have to go viral. God damn it.
I will be on the hunt though. Now armed with
Exactly.
this information.
Jelly bean mule.
just be careful you don't hit the French's ones because those are the yellow package.
Yeah,
Don't hit
I'm
those.
not touching those.
Yes, but those aren't the other ones that I had for you. The other ones I had for you were, here's what I got to say.
Oh,
for you.
the wild whitefish jelly beans?
I'd be
So-
into that.
So follow me here. Old El Paso,
El Paso.
The salsa?
El Paso?
Yeah, it's
El Paso?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
Oh, well, come on.
Don't mix any of these together.
dessert, taco shells.
What?
Oh, like
Like a churro?
No. There's a name for them. Churro is the stick.
Yes,
I mean, that's
correct.
a cinnamon deep fried flavored
No,
Mexican dish.
There was an. It's not a dish. It's like a snack.
If you wanted to make a taco, but
No,
wanted to
Dish
fill it with
snack.
When I worked in
something
Mexican
other
Fiesta,
than ground
they
beef
had
and whatever.
there's an actual
Or
word for
store.
it. I can't think of what the word for it was.
Oh, I have two people from Mexico
I-
that are in
I-
my family that I
figured-
could reach out to. If
I
you
figured
wanted
they
to.
would know.
They're not watching this podcast.
So it's a taco that's cinnamon based and sugared.
Cinnamon toast
Ba-
crunched,
Basically,
This seems very gringo to me. This does not
probably
seem-
is.
Sure.
Yeah, this real Hispanic food does not. No.
But,
Okay.
no, of course I would try that.
What would you put in it?
In the
In the taco shell, whipped
oh,
cream?
no, they were made more of like a nacho.
No. These are actual shells that you can buy, like a dozen of them, all nested.
Oh, this isn't a jelly bean.
No. This is
Oh,
I have
Old
my,
El
I have my
Paso.
answer. I have my answer.
go ahead.
cinnamon toast crunch dessert taco shells.
I have my
Oh,
answer.
Go ahead.
Okay, we got vanilla ice cream
Good start.
going into the
Alright.
shell.
Yep.
We are topping it then with some whipped cream.
Okay.
We're topping it then with some hot fudge. And I would say on top of that, some churro dust on top of the
Where do you
cinnamon.
get churro
No.
dust from?
Well, you would just
I got
get
it beat.
churros and you would just emulsify them.
Seems like a lot of work.
And Natalie's in the room, by the way.
Oh, what's up, Nat?
Todd, what were you gonna use these for? What's your topping for these?
Sean McGuire's here too.
Cinnamon toast crunch.
So my
dessert
my topping for this gross non-Mexican dish is so you got your cinnamon toast crunch taco shell.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a banana covered in dark chocolate, freeze it, and then
Okay.
crumble that, and that's going to be my beef layer. So the crumbled dark chocolate covered banana is my beef layer with a
Okay, I could see
nice
What is it?
warm
What is
it.
frozen?
chocolate
let the
ganache
man
on top
fucking
of
talk.
that.
Hold on.
Sure.
Hold on. There's food going on right
with
now.
All right.
a nice warm chocolate ganache on top of that, with
Oh.
a hazelnut whipped cream on top of that.
Okay. I don't
Yeah,
know
boy.
how well the hazelnut would go with all that with the cinnamon toast crunch flavor. But you had me at ganache and the crumbled
the banana,
the-
the dark chocolate.
crumbled dark chocolate banana, yeah.
You want to trump all these bitches?
I don't know if it's because this is my personal taste, so I don't think it's going to trump anything. But
I'll be the judge of that.
so the thought I had was just with Nick with using vanilla ice cream as your meat base. I would do some shredded coconut and chocolate shavings
Oh,
as your cheese,
yes, that's a great idea.
and then whipped cream.
Yeah, because my thought process was like a choco taco, you know.
and then whipped
Yeah.
cream as the lettuce,
Choco Chico
and then a little
Yeah.
hot fudge sprinkle on the top as your salsa.
But I like where Todd's going. Todd's going more foodie. The ganache, I mean, I don't know if you guys have had, but it is much, much richer. I mean, there's a whole process to making a chocolate ganache.
But I don't.
It
When
is-
it comes to chocolate, I don't care for rich. So that's why I said it's my personal taste.
So you want like a dark chocolate, or you want a milk chocolate?
milk chocolate.
So I like things that are bitter,
Yeah, that's
and
Dark
apparently
chocolate.
I run in line with sociopaths because there is something that says
you said it, buddy, not us.
you know that you're a sociopath if they actually just looked at sociopaths and they had like a bunch of check boxes like
How much do they pay you for that study?
no. They had a lot of check boxes like if you check this off. Obviously, I'm not. But I tick a lot of the boxes. So a couple of the boxes
Just because you don't take off doesn't mean you are.
hold on.
And
Couple of the
you
boxes.
you have years ahead of you to grow.
Yeah,
Couple of the boxes.
time
so,
to tick those boxes.
So raise your hand. If you like gin, raise your hand. No? Todd, are you raising your hand?
He is. Yeah, he is.
I'm raising
Okay.
my hand, baby.
Okay. If you like
It makes me sin.
black coffee.
You're the only one.
All right, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
If you like
Fucking
IPAs.
Only
Hand-
one.
hand
Oh no,
raised.
Todd.
But I like
raised.
I like all
If-
IPAs.
If you
I
like
IPAs. Yep.
dark chocolate.
Love dark chocolate, baby.
So the mindset behind it is that normal quote unquote people like things that are sweet and tempting to the palate. Sociopaths like things that are very bitter. And I love
Because
IPAs.
fuck the world. Is that why?
I guess, but I love IPAs.
I just want to watch it all burn.
I love black coffee. That was from work, working midnights. I love gin.
I've never seen you drink gin. Never.
I don't often, but I do like
It makes me sin.
I do like gin.
If you like it, why wouldn't you? I mean, I've known you for a number of years.
A gin and tonic is.
I've never seen you have a gin and tonic.
Oh, man.
Or order one.
That's the
or,
bomb, isn't it?
It is good. It's really good. But I do a gin and tonic.
Okay.
I do a gin and tonic with a lime.
It's disgusting.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
I guess my grandma used
Really
to be a
good gin?
sociopath. She
Really good gin is the
But
shit, man.
it's so it might be 100 different boxes that you have to tick, and they're just saying like, yeah, this is the road that you need to go down.
And
You-
Nick
you
takes
never-
98 of them.
Hey,
but,
hey,
know.
you never got to the house.
Nick's still walking down that road.
You never got to the house, but you're walking down the road.
Yeah.
But you did tuck your sack back and dance to some fucking crazy 80s tune while someone was sitting down in a well with a dog trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of here.
Again though.
I think this just
But okay,
Bob-
you do
Bob-
you.
this
That's
might be
fine.
wishful thinking for you, Bob.
Guess what? You've also never seen him drink a gin and tonic, so you don't know.
That's true. I never have.
What are you guys talking about?
just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
No, G&Ts are awesome.
Word.
There's a certain
Agreed.
level of my personality that really, really appreciates a good gin and tonic. And I haven't had one in years. I haven't had one. But
Clearly.
Can I ask a question, Nick?
yeah, sure.
Do you have a preferred gin? Do you have a gin of choice?
I would say Bombay.
Yeah, every gin drinker says
Bombay Sapphire?
Yeah, Sapphire.
Bombay
Yep.
Sapphire?
Until they get
There you
deep
go.
in the rabbit
There you
hole,
go.
then they start to go with the craft gins.
But you didn't raise your hand for liking gin.
No, but I was married for 15 years to
Christy-
a
yeah,
gin
Christy loves-
lover.
Really?
Christy,
Yeah.
oh, dude.
And I
Okay.
needed to know exactly what to buy, even though I never drank it.
Yeah, Christy loves it.
I mean, Tangeray's kind of crap. I mean, it's okay.
Sure.
It's okay.
But
Yeah,
it
crap.
depends on how much money you have.
Right.
At some point, every gin drinker has had Tanqueray, and they thought Tanqueray was the fucking bomb. And then they get a little bit more money. They're like, oh, Bombay Sapphire. I can afford that. That's the bomb. And then after that, you get into the Knickerbockers
Yeah.
and all the craft gins because you can afford it.
And Knickerbocker's not that
And that's
great.
no
but
different than any other liquor that you drink, right? Vodka drinkers are
Yeah.
going to start off with 5 o'clock vodka because that's how they were fucking indoctrinated. And then eventually they're going to end up at
Pop
Grey
off.
Goose, and then they're going to start going craft vodka.
Great.
I love
Right?
I
Belvedere,
love,
baby.
I love
Belvy.
this-
And
I
that
love-
Chopin.
I love the story, and I've told it before on the show, but for people that haven't heard it, back in the day, you were not, able to buy booze on Christmas Day. And my great-grandfather was apparently the nicest. I'd never met him, but he was apparently the nicest man in the world. And he was very big man, but just didn't say a lot. And he was a gin drinker. And he got a handle of gin several days in advance for Christmas. And he had just
The
recently
handle's
watched.
1.75.
Yep. He had just
Yeah, we just recently learned that math.
he had
Unrelated, but keep going.
he had just recently washed his hands, and he was about to pour himself his first drink on Christmas Day,
Slipped.
and the gin slipped out of his
Oh,
hands
no.
onto the tile floor and shattered into a million
no.
pieces. And according to my
Christmas is over at
He
that
wept.
point.
He wept. He wept till next Christmas.
Everyone get the fuck out. I'm going to bed.
according to my father, he said that he's never seen a more
Grown man weep.
a more cartoonish jaw-dropping moment on a man than he has my great-grandfather on that moment. And luckily, he said this was back in the 50s, and their neighbors 2 doors down owned a bar. And they went down to the neighbor's house, and they were like, hey, man,
Our grandpa's suicidal over here.
Grandpa's
We need
Grandpa's
to-
gin slipped out of his hands, and he said, no problem, I got you. And they drove around the block to his bar. He unlocked his bar and gave him a bottle of gin on Christmas Day, and it saved Christmas. It saved Christmas.
Yeah, I feel like
So
gin
can
is
I-
one
can
of
I
those
point something out
liquors
there in
can
that story,
save a
Nick?
holiday.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I point one thing out?
Yeah.
That is the time that I wish for when people knew. I mean, I think it's so perfect, but the fact that people came and it's like, hey, this is so important. We're going to open up our bar. We're
They
going to
came together.
go out of our way on our holiday. Yeah, people talked to each other, and it didn't matter about what you thought about anything at all. It was like, I'm going to help you out because this is a sad occasion when a man drops his
Lost his handle of gin.
his 1.75 liter bottle of gin
What was your
on the tile floor.
Yeah.
What was your great grandfather's name?
Fred.
Fred. So
I
those
love
neighbors.
Fred.
Those neighbors were like, Fred lost his gin.
Fred's a good man.
No,
Fred's
kids,
a good man.
kids, hang on. We're not going to open the presents yet. Mom and
Not
Dad
yet.
have to run down
Exactly.
the street.
You know Fred that's
And-
two blocks down?
He lost his gin, and the kids were probably even like,
Because
"Well,
you-
go get Fred's gin."
You have to imagine there were no phones. There were no smartphones. There were no internet or whatever. So you knew Fred 2 blocks away. You fucking knew Fred.
Absolutely.
He was the nicest guy
And
in the
not
world.
only that,
Yeah, go ahead.
if there was TikTok back then and somebody had videotaped that whole sequence of events,
Oh
you'd be
my
a
God.
gazillionaire by now because his face had to be priceless when that shit because when he saw it like falling to the floor, his face would have been priceless. But
My
when
da-
actually it's
my dad said he
he
goes-
had like this nano bit of hope.
My dad said, he goes, Nick, your great-grandfather was nothing like your grandfather. My grandfather bitched about everything. He said, your great-grandfather was a peaceful, happy, very nice man who said very little. And he said, I saw his jaw drop to the floor when this transpired. Like, I've never seen a more disappointed look on someone's face like it was almost like a cartoon. Like, I literally saw his face, like it slipped right from his hands. The old glass bottles,
So-
and that was it.
And so I would assume
This isn't not to be disrespectful at all, but when I come back to Michigan, is your great grandfather still alive?
What?
Todd, come on.
If your great grandfather is not alive, we should drive out to his plot and pour a fucking 1.75 of
Oh
Bombay
man!
on top of his grave.
The crazy thing about that is that I got really really into genealogy. I'd never met the man, but I knew he was very calm.
So to answer your question, yeah, he's still alive.
Very mild mannered man. But I took it upon myself to find out where he was buried. I didn't know him, anything like that. And I went out to their plot, like on my own, and laid there. It was a nice sunny day, and I just laid there and kind of talked to them.
Dude, you laid where?
I laid next to my great grandma and grandpa. And
Hopefully, there's a cat there.
Oh, all I can say
no,
is
there's no cat.
if anyone else has seen Salt,
The cat should have been. Do you lay where
No, I
the
didn't
cat
see
I'm
lays?
having very fucked up.
I've heard about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Fucked up thoughts.
No, I didn't.
Given
see
what you
Sullivan.
just said,
It's apparently
a-
supposed to be like a really fucked up movie.
it's a
Oh,
well.
that sounds amazing. Can't wait to see it.
It's
Which
it's
movie?
based on
Saltburn.
no, it's based on another famous movie or a famous novel, like from like hundreds of years ago, except for the last scene, which is very similar to what you just described. But it's set in a completely different way. I'm sure that the way that you laid next to your grandparents,
Great grandparents.
great grandparents'
Yeah.
graves were completely different.
Yeah.
than
No,
this movie.
I just laid there and
Were you
talked
naked?
to them. And no.
So I think you've.
When I get back to Michigan, we're going there naked with a freaking
We're not going there
1.75
naked,
Bombay.
but we will pour out some Bombay. That would be amazing.
Dude, think about
No,
dude,
no.
Just
hang-
for a second, just ponder that. I feel like Nick and Todd would be the best of friends following such a crazy outing.
So, and actually, come to think of it, Todd, that is very disrespectful. What needs to happen is we go out there, get some soap and water, lather your hands up, grab that fifth of gin and let it slip out of your hand right on top of his grave and shatter everywhere.
You know what?
That's what I think needs to happen.
In all honesty, if
Why do you need soap and water for that to happen?
Because he just got done cleaning. Because he just got
he
done
washed
cleaning
his
his
hands.
hands.
What made him drop the bottle? It's
Well,
a
like, if you just
reenactment.
need someone to drop a bottle of booze, like, I'm your man.
No,
but
you
no,
I
listen.
don't need soap and water.
you got to recreate the moment.
In all honesty, that was a horrible moment in his life. If he's anything like
It
me,
was.
We're celebrating it now.
then he would love nothing more than us to go there and enjoy gin next to his
That's
grave.
true.
Fair
Not-
enough, but
he'd
I
be
can't
like,
really enjoy.
Oh my
gin,
God, this was the most horrible point in my life, and you're reenacting it on my grave. Like,
So. You can do it next.
why
to it,
don't
right?
you
We're not on
enjoy
it, eh?
some gin next to me? Why would you spill it all over the place and then leave?
I think he'd appreciate it.
I think you'd get a good joke, a good like.
He'd be like,
you got me.
he'd be like, I remember that Christmas.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
As all of us have all dropped a thing that was valuable to us at some point, you can imagine
Some of
what
us
was
more
going
than
through his mind,
others.
We can understand that fuck moment.
Yeah.
But that fuck moment must have been huge back then. I mean, there was.
But it shouldn't have been life defining to the point where you go to your grave like oh
No,
my God,
not-
my life would have been worth something if
No,
not for
no.
this one fucking incident.
No, not going to because it was a happy moment because
Yeah,
the
but people
neighbors opened the
rallied.
bar.
People rallied, so it wasn't that moment.
Yeah, that was a great.
Okay,
it's a
so-
great. I think of that as an amazing story in my family's history because people came together. So I
agree.
thought that was awesome. I thought
yes.
that was really cool.
Okay,
I love
here's- Here's what we have to do then. This might take some planning.
Yes,
but
Weeman.
Find the
we-
family
which-
that opened the bar.
Which we excel. We excel at planning.
We're
for
gonna
things.
we're gonna have to find the family that opened the bar, find out where their plots are at,
Yeah.
put a whole handle of gin there, go
hey.
to your great grandfather's grave, break one,
Hey.
drive over to the plot that has the
Find
gin,
their grandchildren.
and then pick it up, bring it back to your grandfather's plot. We'll
Hey.
enjoy the gin and we can call it
Cory.
a day.
Sorry, I think we owed you one.
Yeah,
Just set it right on top of
exactly.
Yeah, that sounds completely
I
doable
know.
and not at all complex or
No.
overwhelming.
It should take maybe 8 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know if he
I'll
ever
be back
repaid
in a
you
couple
back,
weeks.
but here
We'll do
you
it.
go.
I'm in, damn it.
I'll be in Michigan in a couple weeks. Let's plan this out. Let's get it.
Sounds
Let's get
good.
it.
Sounds good.
Oh, you went to Michigan? What'd you do? Well,
Searched out old cemetery plots, drove 6 hours between the two of them, and passed some gin back and forth to dead people.
oh, did you lose a bet with somebody?
Dude, that's going to be 17
just felt
TikToks
like
for
the right
your
thing to do.
for your TikTok videos.
17. Todd, that'll cover our TikTok for the next 4 years.
All right, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's shoot it over to Todd Dillon for airing of grievances.
The Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you.
All right, I'm pulling the volume down, but I'm not shutting it off, Todd. So you can start right now.
Yeah, boy. I can start right now. Here's my grievance. But I love this song, Bob. Anyway, but my grievance this week is this. When restaurants advertise like a special, how come they don't buy enough? Like, especially when they know it's going to be popular. And I get you can't always predict how popular, but if you do something that's fairly mainstream, how do you get it wrong like right out of the gate? Like, I went to a restaurant recently where they had I'm a foodie, and there's a restaurant recently that had a 78-day aged burger on the menu, and I'm like, oh my goodness, a dry aged ground steak burger aged for 78 days. Yeah, I got to get me some of that. And everybody was ordering that thing, and I went to the bar with a couple of my buddies, he ordered the burger, and then I got up there and I'm like, I'll take one of those 78-day aged burgers, and they're like, we just ran out. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I only came here to your shitty establishment because I wanted the 78-day burger that you have on your menu you've been advertising. And I didn't get there, and I get it. If I had showed up at closing time, I get it. I know that if it's popular, you might run out. Dude, I was there 2 hours after opening, and they're out of the burgers already? When that was the thing that they were advertising? And then My secondary add-on beef to the same restaurant beef is this. Then they had some appetizer thing with description of this appetizer, and the only thing, and it was some sort of foreign language. I couldn't read it, but the only thing they translated was pork belly. I'm like, well, as a backstop to my 78-day aged burger, if I can't get that, I can fall back on pork belly. Who doesn't love a good pork belly? And I'm like, I'll do that. And I'm like, no problem, sir. And it was some cold ass salad with some cold ass pork belly. And for those of you who don't know, pork belly is like bacon, but better than bacon, and in thick chunks. And again, I don't mind a little bit of fat content because you got to have that fat that adds the flavor to the meat. But when it's cold, thick chunks of pork belly is like eating big cubes of fat. Disgusting. Don't have shit on your menu when you're going to run out of that shit 2 hours in. Take that shit off your menu, or don't put it on the menu. Don't make it a special unless you order enough so you can serve all the people who are going to order it. Everybody wants a 78-day aged burger. Everybody wants that. So have 10,000 of them, motherfucker. Don't run out of that shit 2 hours in. That's my beef or grievance.
So it sounds like they only had like 3 of them.
It feels like they only did because, dude, when you see, again, are you guys, anybody here a steak connoisseur?
I think we're all steak connoisseurs.
Yeah, definitely.
So you know dry aging steaks, that's the bomb. And you don't typically get steaks aged for over like 20 days or shit in most restaurants over 20 minutes. So the fact that they had these burgers that were like that high of quality and then they ran out 2 hours in is horrible. And then they freaking tricked me into ordering something else that had another appetizing thing, pork belly, which I love, prepare myself, cure myself, love pork belly. And it was ice cold, big chunks in a salad. Come on, bruh. Wrecked my day.
It does sound sad, Todd. I'm very sorry about that, man.
Thank you. Did I get a refund? No. Did I get a rain check? Come back. We'll have one of these for you tomorrow that we'll save for you? No. There was no reparations. No reparations.
Such is life.
All right.
No, that's
so
some
hopefully we
bullshit.
can.
Not such is life. That's some bullshit.
Kevin Bennett, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Kevin?
Hey,
KB.
Kevin.
KB's awesome, man.
Kevin, stick with us because
KWB.
we're going to move from Todd's grievances over to an existential question from Nick.
All right, so for this installment of Nick's Existential Question, what did you think was something super fucking cool when you were a kid that now kind of makes you cringe? That's what I want to know. What was something awesome as a kid that now you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? I can't believe that was something that I thought was awesome, and you cringe at now. That's what I want to know. So there's 2 questions for tonight, and this is question number 1.
I have my answer, and it's only because Danielle and I recently watched a documentary on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Nickelodeon in the 90s.
Nickelodeon is cringeworthy.
Nowadays, looking back on the things that some of the writers and producers wrote, yeah, you'd have to watch the documentary to fully understand. But there was a lot of stuff written that kids didn't understand the innuendos to it,
Like adult jokes.
Yeah, like, and not like Home Improvement or other. There was other shows that were on, in that time period. That
Home Improvement was not on Nickelodeon.
No. That's what I'm saying. Other networks,
Yeah.
because even like Married with Children, there's a lot of stuff on there. But again, that wasn't they weren't meant to be kids shows.
Right.
Nickelodeon, the network, was obviously geared towards kids. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff now that, like I said, after watching this documentary that they aired and were promoting it towards kids, that I'm like, oh, I remember that. And yeah, that's not okay whatsoever.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Wasn't it SpongeBob used to make the starfish give him blowjobs, whatnot, right?
Yeah, there's
Stop it.
an insane amount of stuff that, again, looking back on it, you wouldn't know as a kid. But it was pretty bad.
Okay, I would say Power Rangers. Like, there wasn't a lot of production value that went into that. It was like, oh, this was super popular in China and Japan. We're just going to dub it over, and we're going to put some American characters in here and call it good. Like, they didn't want to, like, redo it themselves. Like,
I agree with you, because that was one of the first things that came to mind was Power, because I'm like, yeah, you watch it back. Now, yeah, it was a shit show. There was absolutely... It was
like, we are here in crystal clear video, and then all of a sudden it's like we're supposed to be like running outside, and it was like this like Mothra, Godzilla, like
running around cardboard houses.
Yeah, like knocking over little tiny buildings and things like
you could tell were Matchbox cars they were flicking.
Like, I'll come for you, Power Rangers, and her mouth was like,
yeah.
It was like, put a little, I mean, you could have easily just brought another actress in and done the voice of that one woman in those scenes. Like, it just seemed a little sloppy.
But you know what? They were getting ratings, so why put more money into it?
I know.
But I definitely agree with you, because
it seems sloppy to me.
Oh, very, very. But again, if you're getting ratings and making money, why change it?
Todd, what do you got?
I have two.
Okay.
And for the same reason, but different, but both sides of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, Dukes of Hazzard. The fact that I loved a car, the General Lee with a Confederate flag on it, and all that comes along with that. And the other side, the flip side of that coin is I loved and I watched Red Fox and Sanford and Son, and how bigoted that show and the writing was is super cringeworthy. I'm embarrassed because ultimately it shows that it doesn't age well, because it shows that essentially, again, black people felt the prejudice of white people, but then they felt that it was okay then to be prejudiced against Hispanic people, because you wanted to put someone always wanted someone to be underneath you. And so my two cringeworthy things that I used to love back in the day, Dukes of Hazzard, again, the Confederate flag on the General Lee, and the General Lee being the name of the car that was celebrated, and then the Sanford and Son. Yeah, both those things make me cringe that I actually liked those as kids.
Well, because
we watched them in my home.
Yeah, you have to think like it didn't mean then what it means now, and
it actually did. But it did.
No,
that's the weird thing, because my parents
Todd,
watched
the
Dukes of Hazzard.
It was a different world back then, Todd. You can't hold yourself responsible back then for getting on the bandwagon behind Sanford and Son when everybody did. Sanford and Son was a very, very popular show and played against a lot of racial stereotypes at the time that people just accepted that they don't accept today.
And a lot of things.
But that's the point.
But it's
of your
what's
question.
pissing people off now, because now it's now it's called woke, because you see how wrong it was.
Woke is a word that's been twisted since it's come out. But the point of Nick's question was, what makes you cringe today, because you are alive today in 2024 where values are different.
Yeah.
And so
and
you shouldn't be embarrassed for liking it back then as much as
we are woke now. We do understand, which is why we're changing those things.
Yeah.
Liking it back then should not have been something that you feel bad for, because if back in the day we looked at the Confederate flag as being supportive of having slaves and slavery, that necessarily was not the tone of it. Back in the day, like, the Confederate flag was looked at as the South and rednecks and people from the South. So a lot of people that were rednecks and people that even if that were the intent, and I don't mean to cut you off, Nick. With that, the notion of calling people rednecks because they're from the South, again, that's a bigoted point of view that I hope that I've. But
not back then.
But also that was self-proclaimed, and people from the South specifically called themselves that. They were like, "We are different. We are Southerners. We are rednecks. We are this. We are that." And they saw the flag as being, "We are from the Southern states. We are this." It wasn't, we wish we would have won the war. We wish slavery was still around. Like, it wasn't about that back then. But now that we look at it and say that retrospectively, this is what it does represent, because had the South won, this is where we would be now, then yes, now it translates into a bad thing. So you can understand probably why, it was on TV shows and things like that back in the day. Because
I'll even give another example. When I grew up in school, we were taught from the earliest age I can remember that slavery was bad, was reprehensible, and should never happen again. But at no point were we ever taught that statues to Confederate generals or people who supported slavery should be pulled down. It never came up. Not once.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it wrong that it didn't come up then,
Mm-hmm.
but that it's come up now. It just was not. It was nothing that anyone ever considered. They were only willing to talk about.
But the problem
we're
is,
gonna go this
because it
far
wasn't
and
considered
no
then,
further.
people are angry today because because people are like, dude, this has been going on for forever. I think,
Yeah,
like I said, ultimately,
maybe they're right to.
we didn't
be
address
angry,
it
but
years ago, and
and that's fair. But
Dude, if you look at it,
times change. People change.
of course. And like my grandfather used to love the Honeymooners. And if you look at, punching a woman in the face as being comedy today, you'd be
That's
like,
true.
oh,
Well,
okay.
you don't think I would freaking lay Mary out when she talks back?
Right, exactly.
I'm getting ready because I'm going to be asked to. But
I
to be fair,
To be fair.
yeah. To be fair, Ralph Cramden never actually punched his wife in the face.
But we know
Laid hands on her,
It was
exactly.
a threat to do that. That was the problem. That's the problem today. That wasn't a problem.
and it
that
was the
big.
notion back in the day of
Keeping your wife in line.
Dude, there are advertisements all the time way back in the 50s, and I know this specifically from kind of leaning into those advertisements when I would do our artwork of a normal guy in the 50s holding his wife over his lap and spanking her for not vacuuming or something. It was like, and it was a comedy kind of thing back in the day.
It was a different time.
It was a completely different
do
time.
that right now.
Definitely was a different
When
time.
Mary doesn't
because
vacuum, she gets a spanking.
things have kind of taken a 180 because now if I don't do something, Danielle's like, Cory, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, you did say that she flogged you with the Christmas lights when you didn't.
Yes.
You didn't put them up in time.
It was a sad day in the.
But
in the podcast.
that being said, I don't look in the past and say, well, people that had Confederate flags in the past, they're horrible people and they're racist. I'm like, no, I think that they were not thinking of it in those terms. But now, just like with the statues, we look back on it and we say, okay, we won the war. Why are we celebrating people that wanted to represent these horrible things? Take them down. I get
But they're
that.
in an area of the country that has a different feeling about how that war turned out.
Yeah, I get
And
it.
that's why they've stood to this day. And so I'm not commenting on whether it's right or wrong to take those statues down. I'll leave that for others to decide. But the point is that people change, feelings change about past events, times change, and we all have to move forward.
Yeah, and we're a democracy. I think what's good for the people is good for all of us. And I feel like if the greater good of the people, if everyone thinks that that's a horrible thing to celebrate, take them down. Going into the streets yourselves and just demolishing, history, I think is horrible.
Well, that's a totally different argument
yeah, I
because
think
now
that's
you're like,
horrible.
okay, the will of the people.
Yeah.
The will of the people is something that today, maybe we're getting way too far into politics. You guys can stop me at any point.
Yeah, we're about to stop.
I was going to say, speaking of people changing and new things happening, Gina's in the room, and we have a shot in front of us.
Yeah, we do have a shot.
Hey, Gina.
All right, moving on with a shot.
I don't.
Hey, Gina.
Nope.
I don't.
Todd's going to get his shot ready while Gina joins, and she tries to get some sort of sense of what the fuck is going on.
She had her sexy specs on today. She showed everybody.
What was the company with sexy
All right, I'm ready.
specs? Somebody help me.
DOC.
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 That was a huge marketing play.
The
For
doc.
us.
Makes feel like dancing.
I'm not sure about that, but
That's what
I'm
he
ready.
said, the
I will
owner said.
take your
Yeah.
word for it. All right, Todd's ready. Gina, if you're ready. Anybody
ready.
else who's watching or listening? Here we go.
Salute.
Oh,
Okay, so
All right.
who has not answered that question?
I have
Okay, Bob, go ahead.
not.
You want me
I'm gonna
to
say-
read again?
No, I got it. My first answer I got from Cory. When
Okay.
Cory read his answer, I'm like, well, I know what my answer is going to be now. My second answer, and I'm just going to throw two, and I'll make it
So
quick.
for people that are just entering the room,
Yeah, what's the question again?
question is, what did you think was cool when you were a kid that now makes you cringe?
So first one was inspired by Cory. Second one inspired by Todd.
They're not old lady readers, Gina. She was talking about Nick's comment to her glasses.
No.
Yeah, listen. I believe we said sexy specs.
We did.
There's no reason for you to comment with old lady readers. If you want us to talk about what you would look like in old lady readers, you just let us know. Otherwise, I think we said it was sexy
And call
specs.
the shocker line.
Yes, 618 shocker. For those who don't know,
Bob?
first answer, Bill Cosby.
Okay. It's a good answer.
I
So-
grew up.
No, it is. We're laughing because it is such a great answer.
I grew up. I loved Bill Cosby. Me and both. No. Forget about the Cosby Show, which I did watch. Before that, his stand-up. Me and my two sisters listened to his stand-up religiously, like almost on a daily basis. It was such a formative part of my life. I can't even express to you how much it meant to me. It got me down the road of listening to stand-up, like in the form of like albums that you put on the turntable. Like it turned me into a fan of Steve Martin. I love Steve Martin. Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. It put me on all those things came from Bill Cosby. All of it.
I can honestly say this. There are very few moments like this that I remember in my life, and I specifically remember this. My dad coming downstairs into the den. The lights were off. We gathered around a large TV with like the wood around it and everything like that. You know, it was a TV. You took 5 guys to move this TV out of the house. And he
piece of furniture.
He brought down. Oh, it was an absolute piece of furniture. He would bring blankets, and me, my brother, and my dad. He would curl us up in these blankets, and we would sit down with the lights off and watch the Cosby Show. And I specifically remember, like, learning life lessons from that show, like
not to drink a drink from Bill Cosby.
No,
See, no, but you were proving the point of the question.
But it never, ever in the house that I grew up in, never crossed my mind that it was like, this is a black show versus a white show or anything like that. Like, it was just, it taught lessons. It taught lessons. It was, I loved,
it was life lessons in
fucking
Americana.
loved the Cosby Show. I loved his wisdom on that show, and I loved the lessons that were taught on that show. Outside of what he did, you know, and that could have been nothing to do with Bill Cosby. That could have been all the directors, you know. But
it was the writers.
Wait,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I was going to say therein lies the thing, right?
Well,
the writers of that show were brilliant.
yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing to me.
I got to go back because I had to look this up because I didn't really know because I watched the Cosby Show, but it wasn't. I wouldn't regard it as being as influential because I was older then. It was 92 was the first episode of the Cosby Show, right?
Yeah,
so
so I was 9.
I graduated from college by then,
Jesus.
but
You're really that
go
old.
fuck yourself.
I was 9.
But when Bill Cosby, so when we listened to Bill Cosby, we spun his albums like Noah's Ark.
You were alive
during
Noah's Ark?
Yeah.
He did a great routine on Noah's Ark.
Yeah, he's got that shows our generational divide. You're right.
It does. I own it.
You're in Bob's?
I own it proudly. But my parents had a turntable in the basement, and my dad would come down, and he would hear. I was listening to Bill Cosby. He's like, "Oh, okay, all right. I just want to know what the fuck you kids were doing on here." Not that my dad would drop the F-bomb like that, but
What the fuck you
I
little
just wanted to
bastards
know
are
what
doing
you guys
down
were
here?
up to down here, but I
He
hear
seemed really nice when you saw him in the sun when we were kayaking.
he did.
But now he's swearing and stuff. It's crazy.
he had his fair share of
He had his
F-bombs.
moments.
Berating his children.
But he heard that Bill Cosby was babysitting his kids. He's like, "All
Take a
right,
breath,
I think you
Bob.
guys are good."
You're in good hands.
And he was like, totally fine to leave us in Bill Cosby's capable hands. And then
It's Dr. Bill Cosby.
Bill
to you.
Cosby released a special, a stand-up special called Bill Cosby Himself. And for those people, it was released in 1983. It was his most famous stand-up special ever. We literally gathered all of us, my mom and dad, around, and we would get blankets, pillows, pizza,
Don't try and upstage me.
Pepsi.
Come on.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It was a huge
Hey,
deal.
Nick, did your dad get you pizza and Pepsi? He did not.
It was
I guess not.
It was a huge deal. We all gathered there, and we
Thanks,
all
Mr. Bader.
Bob was 32, cuddling up with his dad.
And listen, so 83. This was like 9 years before the Cosby Show. It was a huge.
Wait.
My dad.
Lori
loved
says that the Cosby Show season 1 was 84.
84.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she says. But I
No,
and by the
that's
way,
not true.
I think
Sorry.
generationally, I can see
You're
where
right. You're right. Final episode was 92. First episode was 84. It was still after the Bill Cosby himself special.
But I was going to say, but I think the thing is for our podcast listeners, I think the generational gap. Bob and I are in the same. We're both Gen Xers, and clearly Cory and Nick are not. But ultimately, I actually span both because I watched the Cosby Show almost to the end. I really liked that. I even watched a little bit of the spinoffs where they were at Spelman and all those sorts of things because
Different
I
world.
think it was very relevant. Yeah. But who didn't like Lisa Bonet?
Fucking Lisa Bonet. Oh.
And when she got kicked off the show because
in much
she
the
was a
same
little
way,
bit too
Todd, that you
real.
and I are attracted to Zoe Kravitz, right?
Yeah, boy. And
Corey,
Zoe Saldana.
Lisa Bonet,
Thank you.
come the fuck on, really?
No, I had no idea who you're talking about.
You don't
No,
know who Zoe Kravitz
neither of
is?
us.
Lisa Bonet?
No.
You
All
don't know
I
who
know-
Lisa Bonet is?
All right, we'll
All I
talk.
know
We'll
is that-
talk after the show.
All I know is that Theo looks exactly the same now as that he did when he was on the
He
Cosby
does,
Show.
and that kid's actually a really good actor, and it's nothing to do with what we're talking about. But okay, so back to my answer. My first answer is Bill Cosby, huge influence. It's a definite cringe.
Black
Now,
don't crack.
I'm so upset that I can't. It really pains me that I can't listen to him anymore. I literally can't. He's out of my life. Second thing, then that was what Cory inspired based on his answer was, oh, I know what it is. It's going to be Bill Cosby. What Todd inspired was Three's Company.
Come and knock on our door.
I laughed my ass off at
Take a
those
step at a time.
sexual escapades from Jack Tripper. Come on.
Exactly.
Jack Tripper with Chrissy and fucking Janet. You never knew who his fucking he was, and he had to play gay for the Ropers, but fuck those Ropers. It really doesn't age well. The parlance of our times, times change, and it really does not age well. But fucking,
Okay,
I
so-
really enjoyed it back in the day. John Ritter, fantastic actor.
Okay, so we're moving on to
Yes.
one more. We got one more, and then we're done. All right.
Did Cory
so-
go? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait,
Nick-
did
I think
Cory
I
say
was,
what
I was the last
Nickelodeon.
one.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was the last one.
Bob's the last to go. So
And real quick, Gina says she disagrees with all the Cosby stuff. She's still on board.
yeah, dude, I love the Cosby
I'm,
Show.
I'm kidding. She did not. Say that.
The Cosby Show, I'm on board with because
I was ready to say like, well, that's your
Oh,
choice.
No,
and-
she no.
Yeah, that's
You know,
the
woman's
writers,
choice
and
is
it's just a bad. He was
her
an
option.
actor in
Just-
that show.
just
You know,
the
it's-
same.
I'm with Nick.
Totally fine.
Unpopular
I'm with
opinion,
Nick.
but I still
No,
I-
not unpopular. You're
Listen,
right, Nick. He was an actor in that show. He wasn't the writer.
Thank
the main
you.
writer.
And the same goes with me. Kevin Spacey's acting, I still think is good. I don't like him as a person,
Yeah,
but I
it's
still
a-
think he's a good actor.
Yeah, it's a tough.
He's supposed to entertain me. That's his job. So
yeah.
that being said, it doesn't mean I agree with
Sucks that
anything
he's
he
a bad
does.
person.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
we've had these conversations about Kevin Spacey and those people who've been canceled before,
yeah.
but I feel like we're always going to go back to them because they are endlessly entertaining or interesting lines of thinking.
Yeah, because I mean, if you were to say, I don't want to do anything, I mean, I would respect you. Like, I don't want to do anything or see anything that you're involved in.
Yeah,
I get it. I understand that, but that's not the way I'm wired. If you entertain me, if you have a great voice, I'm not going to be like, well, hold on. You did this back in 74. I don't like your voice anymore.
But
no, I still like your voice.
hold on. Every single
I'm
person,
not going to go pay
So you're
you
listening to
money.
R. Kelly
every single
still.
person, whether it's Todd or you or
R.
Cory
Kelly.
or me, everyone has their line.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course.
And the line for each of us is not the same.
No, and that's
And nor
Nor
should
should
we
it be.
judge. I'm not judging where your
No,
line
no,
is
no.
versus where Cory's line
yeah,
is.
and that's why I'm buying
Yeah.
every P Diddy album I can right now.
P. Diddy.
Hold on, he's not proven guilty. Come on now.
I'm
Bad
getting,
boys for life.
I'm getting ahead of everything, Bob.
He's
I
on
need
the
to
run.
I need to buy them now before they're not able to be bought anymore.
P.
so.
fucking Diddy is on the run.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All right, so
Who
then
says this show isn't topical?
That's right.
so the next question of Nick's existential question is, what does everybody but you seem to love? Every single person but you seem to love that you just don't get. You
Wow.
don't understand it.
Real
This
quick,
should be easy. Right.
real quick. We had someone come to
Practical
the room.
jokers.
John Ross, happy 35th birthday, sir.
35.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Can we expound? Is he actually watching? He's still in the room right now.
Yeah.
If we could expound just for a minute, which we don't really do for I don't know John Ross.
No,
But listen, it warrants
none of us do. I
it
think.
warrants comment. If you're turning 35, sir, may I say, it's all downhill from here.
Wow.
No. Can I say? Can I do
Hold
something
on,
about it?
hold
Can I
on,
have a
Todd.
couple
Hold on,
seconds?
Todd. Before you do, let me just finish by saying 35, as far as I recall, and again, my being 54 now, the memory just fucking goes really quick. 35 is the age at which things start to go wrong
You're at the
for
top of
no
your game.
reason. For
No, you're at the top of your game, bro.
No, you were
Top of your game.
Nope, you were at the top of your game for 15 years. And now you're at 35. And now all of a sudden you're going to wake up. Sorry, John Ross. I'm really sorry. This is not my fault.
Untrue, John.
But you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, fuck, why does my knee hurt? I didn't do anything yesterday.
Nah, you got 10 more years
Because
for
you're
that shit.
35. No, you don't. John Ross,
Nah.
start exercising like a mofo right now
No, don't
in
do it.
anticipation of things hurting because you didn't do anything in particular.
Just embrace it, man.
Humbug.
Age
No,
grace.
embracing it
Humbug.
means you're going to be sore as a
Exactly.
bitch.
Age
For
grace.
Age ain't nothing but a number, bitch. That's why Bob's the oldest dude on this podcast, even though by birth date he's not.
Fucking
Age gracefully. If you
says-
don't listen,
That's something someone older than
I
you
have
would
something. I
say.
have something for John.
if you don't,
I have something for John.
go ahead.
Can I give it to him?
Yeah.
Oh, he had to clear his throat. Stand back, folks.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, this is depressing.
Happy birthday to
Yeah, Todd.
you.
All right. Okay. So
Actually, no, I
You're-
won't.
Oh, fuck you guys, man.
Keep going.
John, happy birthday, motherfucker.
God damn
Happy,
it.
and what-
goodness.
I really wanted him to finish.
happy
that.
birthday, John. Thank you for joining and coming on the show. You should dial a
wanted him to
chakra
finish
line.
it. Sorry, Nick, what was the question?
so
Happy birthday to you.
if you're unaware, this is a drinking show. This is a drinking podcast. If you don't drink, it's okay. You're not left out. Grab some coffee. Grab some water.
You can drink
some
water.
milk, something
Everybody
like
drinks
that,
water.
and join us. So we're now in the Nick's existential question portion of the show. We're on question number 2. The question is, what does everyone but you seem to love that you just don't understand? That's what we want to know. Something that everybody seems to love that you just don't understand. The last question was something in the past that what?
Hey, can we answer for other people?
No,
No.
Can we do this shot?
of course
Damn
not.
it.
We can do a shot if someone pours one.
I'm going to say,
That's what
didn't
you
we
said.
just do a shot? Like
You said
5
you
minutes
led
ago?
with a drinking podcast.
All right,
He
Cory.
just led with we're drinking podcast.
All
Happy
right.
birthday, John.
Oh,
Does anyone want to go or?
I'm thinking I don't have anything.
What does
away.
everyone seem to love but you? And I'll go first. I will go first to lay the fucking groundwork. I'm going to say Star Wars.
Oh fuck!
That's a great answer. That is a great answer.
I don't understand it. I've
doesn't
never
make any
fucking
sense,
seen
though.
it. I don't get it.
Hold on. What doesn't make any sense?
That's why you don't get it. You haven't seen it. That doesn't make any sense.
Sorry.
That's true. If you haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies,
No.
well then you can't use that as a.
Of course I can.
No,
You can't.
no, it's disqualified. It's like me talking about turkey hunting. Oh, you'd be like, oh, have you ever been turkey hunting? No, I fucking hate turkey hunting.
Exactly.
Guess what?
Go fuck
Exactly.
yourself, you'd
Guess
say.
what? I've never been spelunking.
Why does everyone love Barry
Well,
Minimus?
then you wouldn't
I've never
say
done
I
it.
hate spelunking.
But I've never fucking done it, and
Can-
it
can
doesn't
we-
mean I can't like it
Dude,
or not like it.
listen. If there's something that you don't understand, can we at least limit to shit that you've done?
Okay, so hold on. This is my segment,
No,
my
I get
question,
it, but that seems to me.
and you're telling me the rules that I need to follow?
Okay, so you're saying you can also include things you've never done or never said.
If you want me to answer,
just
if it makes you
explain
feel
the rule-
better,
no,
I can answer
explain
something.
the rules.
I can
That's all I need
answer.
to know.
I can answer something I've done that I don't understand.
No, but it sounds like you like to answer with no. We can answer with shit we've never done.
You
And
can.
if that's okay,
Of course you can.
sweet.
You know what the nature of the
Then
question
I have
is?
my answer.
What does everyone seem to love that you don't love? That's the nature of the question.
And like any question, it begs further
It makes no sense.
clarification. And so if you're saying that I can,
It's
my
not
an-
I've loved it and I don't get it. It's everyone seems to love this and you don't. That's the question.
But if you watched it,
Read it one more time.
you'd be on our ship.
I'll have you read it for me.
No, that's a great. Okay, what does everyone but you seem to love? That is, you know what? You're right. That is a very broad.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So Star Wars. I'm not saying I wouldn't love it.
Based on that, that is a legitimate answer.
Yeah. Thank you.
I was going to say sports for Nick, but
No, not even sports because I can get into hockey. I can get into hockey.
Fair
And
enough.
even a good baseball game every now and then. I'm not going to like memorize the players and shit.
God.
But
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna say the first thing that popped in my head when you said that.
I'm sorry. I can't even hear you because I'm going to a game tomorrow. I'm going to a baseball game tomorrow, Todd. Sorry.
A baseball game, not a hockey game. A baseball.
I know.
and Gina, you can go fuck yourself.
Wow.
What?
Oh goodness.
So the
Getting salty.
goodness.
the
That's
chat-
that's how that we treat our audience well.
especially our number one fan.
Yes. Super fan Gina.
So no, Ian came in the room. Burger Boy, who I don't know.
Hi,
But
Ian.
thank you for joining.
Burger boy.
And yeah, so Gina said, Cory, Oscoda, I don't get why he loves it there. West part of the state is much nicer.
Oh,
So that's
That's an
Yeah.
interesting take.
yeah. Well, she
probably a
punched right-
truthful take, but
Well, but but hold on. In all honesty, Cory's tied to Tawas. His ties to Tawas are
That's why it's TT.
familial, and they're
Short. Like he is.
it's in his family.
but it is the west side of the state
Family
is
ties take him back to Tawas based on his childhood, his experiences with his parents. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a huge memory.
You
of
didn't
mine.
just pick it off of a map by throwing a dart.
No.
You went there as a child.
Yeah, I've known the place, and
So
we've been.
are there places in the United States, in Michigan, in the world that are better? Undoubtedly, but they don't hold the same.
Oh yeah, I
pull
mean,
and the meaning for you. that Tawas
again,
does.
there's plenty of places that Key West, anything in the Keys that
Sure.
would be
The
amazing.
French Riviera,
but
you haven't been to Key
it would be
West.
amazing.
yes,
but-
I have.
But you've never been there. You
But-
were never taken there by
No,
as
and-
a child.
and for a very easy vacation in Michigan
Sure.
that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg.
Yep.
You can drive right up to Tawas, and it's a great experience for me at least.
I will say
and you
this.
guys
No.
from
Tau- I will
100%.
say
I
this.
would agree.
I've been almost to every square inch of the state of Michigan, thankfully, from my dad. And the west side of the state is beautiful. It's very, very much well known. But the east side of the state, in certain places like Tawas, Michigan, are hidden gems. And it's nice that it's nice that they're hidden gems.
Wait a minute, Nick.
Yeah.
So I have a challenge question.
Okay.
You ever been to St. Louis, Michigan?
No. I mean, maybe.
You ever been to Merrill, Michigan?
Into
Ever been to
where?
Merrill, Michigan?
Merrill?
Merrill. Merrill. Merrill.
Perhaps, but it doesn't. It
Ever
doesn't
been
ring
to
a bell.
ever been to Breckenridge, Michigan?
Yes, Breckenridge.
You haven't been anywhere in Michigan, damn it! You haven't been anywhere in Michigan.
Okay.
Hard.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Shepherd, Michigan?
He
Thicket,
fucking
Michigan?
leaped all over you.
He's like, let me think of the bullshittiest of towns that I can fucking think of. All right,
Wait. Bob, go to the tape. I've been to most every square inch of Michigan.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, like
But hold
notable
on, hold on.
places.
By the fact that you just said the word most, I don't even have to go to the tape. I know that means not all. So whatever else you got to say
Yeah, not
doesn't
all.
matter. So let's close. Can we close it out with the shot? Or do we still have?
Nope.
No. But you asked the second question. Did everybody answer the question?
No, they didn't.
No, so let's do the shot and continue the question.
I did mine, and we'll have 3 more answers.
All right, here we go.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Salute.
We hope you guys are having a great Saturday night or whenever this podcast seems to find
We're all
you.
having a great time.
We're having a good time.
stuff.
We hope
Yeah,
it
this
translates.
is a salty podcast.
No,
Salty.
this is not the salty podcast. It may be a salty podcast, but
If this is something that you can't listen to and you got to sneak away, we like that even more.
hit pause, bitch,
Pause
and
it.
then come back.
Come back to it when everyone's asleep.
You don't have to let it play while you're in the shitter.
secretly
Come back.
Secretly have your shots with us.
Listen, take the headphones out, hit pause, go take a dump, come back, put the headphones
Exactly.
in, all set.
Go cut the grass.
No problem.
Or
Yeah,
Or
have your beer.
do
That's
that.
whatever you got to do.
better yet, get some Bluetooth headphones and you don't have to take them off.
All right, so going around the fucking pond here.
Yeah, so you answered.
Yeah.
What
Sorry.
does everyone but you seem to love?
I'll go.
I've already given my answer, Bob. It's your turn.
Skydiving. I don't get it.
Who
Lots
loves
of people
that?
tend to.
Who do you know loves it?
Tons of people love it.
I mean, I don't love it.
No, people
I
you
don't
know.
love it.
Well, you guys aren't the only people. in the
Anyone on this
world, so
podcast.
I'm just saying. I know a lot of people who love it, and I can't figure out. I would never do it. I'm
No.
like, I don't get the. Appeal.
Why would you jump out of a perfectly good plane? That doesn't
Right.
make any sense.
and throw yourself at the whim of, some guy who's strapped to your back, or no one with a parachute here and a parachute here who's
And then what do you do
historically failed.
What do you do if he boners up behind you? Then you got nothing to do. You're just fucking laying there. I mean, that sucks.
And you're midair.
What do you
10,000
can't
feet
do
above
anything.
the
You
ground.
can't say anything.
Yeah, where are you gonna go?
If he boners up.
I can tell you where
You
he's
embrace
going.
What if he's like, I love
But
this job.
he's strapped to you. There's nowhere he's going. Anyway,
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
I don't
Yeah, but
get
it's
it.
like-
I would never do
it's
it.
like
I can't
3
understand
minutes
why
of
people
freaking
it,
love.
but they do.
3 minutes of love.
That's my
3 minutes of
Three-
air.
that sounds like a podcast title. 3 minutes of
3
love.
minutes of love.
3 minutes of air love.
Yep.
That sounds like good.
3 airy minutes of love.
No. I'm going with that.
3 air minutes of love.
Minutes of air love.
3 minutes of air
Whatever.
love.
Anyhow, Corey, go ahead.
I don't know, man. I'm
Too bad. Todd,
okay,
go ahead.
That's fine.
Todd, what does everyone but you seem to love? That's what
Corey.
we want to know tonight.
I'm going to say
Impractical jokers on this podcast.
Oh, that's really a good answer.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Yeah, none of us can seem to understand why
It's-
you don't get it.
Because here's the weird thing. I actually even like
You
Jackass.
also could have said
it-
Letterkenny, by the way.
No, I love Letterkenny.
Well,
Love Letterkenny.
I feel like every time you mention it,
No, I do.
you seem not to be familiar with it.
Todd, if you tell me there's no black
No,
people
no,
on the
because-
show, I'm going to get really upset.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I love Letterkenny, and I literally this show has ruined me for Letterkenny because we do a segment that most people don't hear about anymore because they bitched about it called Gentleman's Agreement, and so not only do I have so many things on my dance card to watch that I wouldn't normally watch, but ultimately I watch a bunch of things to friggin' stay ahead of the rest of this group, and so Letterkenny does I don't there's only so many hours in a day and I can't just spend my day wasting my time watching nonsense shows. But at the end of the day, I've seen several episodes of Impractical, and I should say several, but maybe 3 or 4. and I've never laughed once. It seems
He quickly dialed that back. But it's
Todd-
less than a dozen.
Todd, if it makes you feel any better, Cory introduced this to us when we were going to the bar constantly, all the time. And I thought it was the fucking dumbest thing I've ever seen. And somehow on my own, I got on board with it, and I really like it now. But yeah, I
had to be on his own.
I
Can't give you credit, Cory.
No, I thought it was.
Of course not.
No, it had nothing to do with that. I just thought
Right.
I thought it was stupid at the time. I thought it was really.
When you
really
suggested it, fucking stupidest thing I ever heard.
He didn't suggest
When I watched
it.
it on my own,
He just turned it on the
greatest show
TV.
ever.
Hilarious.
No, it surprisingly shows it can make or break a show when you can actually hear what they're saying. And at the bar, we couldn't hear anything. And when Cory would turn on, I'm like,
and here's
it's
my
fucking
point.
stupid.
I love, and here's the one. Here's what I can. And again, I think it's just that I don't know exactly what the element is, but I love Letterkenny. I love ridiculousness, and there's people on this show who think that's silly because Rob Dyrdek's pants don't fit right. But ultimately, I think
45
that
years
shows.
old
Yeah.
dressing like a 22-year-old.
He's a national treasure, by the way.
But
Thank you.
I don't even pay attention to that. I pay attention to
Looks like he's 10.
the comedy and the fact he's ad-libbing on all the craziness that's going on. But again,
And
Impractical Jokers has not elicited one giggle, chuckle, smirk, or otherwise happy feeling that anytime I've ever seen 1 second of it. I'm like, this
Well,
is played.
You're
even,
weird.
even there's a horrible show now where
You're a
there's
weird man for that.
Hold
No,
on.
actually,
we're not,
there's
we're
another
not judging
horrible-
people. We're not judging.
I also
but even there's there's a new show with practical jokes with the guy from Jackass, Johnny Knoxville, and Gabourey, and even that show, most of it isn't funny, but everything I've seen is way funnier than Practical Jokers. There's a show with those guys on there that again, I haven't seen one skit from Impractical Jokers that makes me laugh.
Wow.
Jackass, I love.
Listen,
Yeah, so that's my
it's
answer.
not everybody's cup of tea. But maybe we haven't given him the proper episode as his gateway into the Jokers.
I feel like there's no opening that door whatsoever. After what he just said,
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
There was also a time where I wasn't familiar with the Impractical Jokers, but you turned me on to them, and I can't remember which season they were in at the time. but-
Todd has shut that door, barricaded it like there's a gunman outside.
all right.
And so
All right.
no one's getting in that door unless
Yeah, it's maybe like foot fetish porn. I'm never going to get into it.
Well, hold on. Hey, don't shut the door on foot fetish porn. I'm just
Foot fetish
saying.
porn
Don't
is
like the feet.
disgusting.
But
It's disgusting.
There might be the
Feet are disgusting, Bob.
little nuggets to discover.
Disgusting.
Just so you're aware,
Should have another 2-part.
just so you're aware, at my job, there's been a lot of conversation about, you know what, we're really not making enough money here, and there are websites where you can put your feet online and make a lot of money. Maybe we should be doing that.
What in the fuck?
Maybe we should be doing that.
I mean, but hang on, real quick though. You defended that real quick, Bob,
Which way?
about the foot fetish thing and not discounting.
Yeah,
it.
because it discounts all of Quentin Tarantino's entire body of work.
oh, he's a big foot fetish person?
Tarantino?
Yeah.
100%. He is the biggest foot fetish director in Hollywood.
Okay.
So if you
Kind
don't
of
like
weird
foot,
that you know that.
I feel like it's pretty well known.
So Todd completely locked and shut that door on Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
Bob opened a new door to him for himself. We now know that he's into foot fetish porn.
Feetporn.com, yeah.
Listen, I love Tarantino for many reasons.
Nick, go on that browser right now. See how many foot fetish
I
sites are on
don't
there.
want to. I
No,
really
no,
don't.
Go right ahead.
I don't want to.
Listen, it's not about foot
Yeah,
fetish.
that's my 2-part answer. Impractical Jokers and foot fetishes.
Go ahead,
This-
buddy.
this
Go
is
ahead,
gonna-
buddy.
This is gonna make it
And now
for
Bob.
a great. This is gonna make for a great after party.
Yeah,
So
is it?
yeah,
Is it?
100%.
Yeah,
so
it's
let's
gonna
get
be
into
a-
it right now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time. On behalf of Cory, Nick, and Todd, this is Bob saying we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace.